How many times do you have to prove we can't be trusted?
I want you to ask yourself, what kind of power do you think that our mainstream media really has? Like, how bad do you think it is? Like, what extreme would they go to keep the Democrats in power? That's what I'm really asking. How bad do you think it really is? Well, I'm going to tell you how bad it is, because the mainstream media is so powerful. They've got such a grip on the general population. They've used the general population's busyness or stupidity, or both, to hide that our president could possibly have dementia or Parkinson's, or even both. Most people still don't know. Okay. I was talking to a lady today. She's a raging Biden fan. I told her, I said, President Biden's probably going to have to drop out. He's got dementia. She walked away. She doesn't want to talk about it anymore. The delusion for Donald Trump, the TDS for Donald Trump, is absolutely real, folks. I'm telling you that right now. Like, I see it all the time. I randomly ask people and just randomly talk to people because I really want to see what people think, and if they are as brainwashed as we see on YouTube. They are. They're brainwashed. And I see why. Because the White House press secretary, Cringe Jean-Pierre, she's still lying about President Biden's condition, even after the mainstream media, who's been running cover for Joe Biden for 3.5 years, the mainstream media is now telling us the truth. And she's still trying to lie to them in the press room. I want you to take a look at this clip because it's very strange.
It's a very basic, direct question.
Wait. Hold on. Wait a second.
Eight times, or at least once, in regards to the president specifically.
Hold on a second.
That's what you should be able to answer by this point.
Wait, no. No, wait a minute. Ed, please. A little respect here, please. So every year, around the president's physical examination, he sees a neurologist. That's 3 times, right? So I am telling you that he has seen a neurologist 3 times while he has been in this presidency. That's what I'm saying. I am telling you that he has seen them 3 times. That is what I'm sharing with you, right? So every time he has a physical, he has had to see a neurologist. So that is answering that question.
No, it's not.
No, it is. It is. You're asking me. I also said to you, Ed, I also said to you, for security reasons, we cannot share names. We cannot share names.
You can others he would have met with. You can share names in regards to if someone came here in regards to the president.
We cannot share names of specialists broadly, from a dermatologist to a neurologist. We cannot share names. There are security reasons. We have to protect.
It's public.
I understand that.
I hear you. Right there for anyone to see.
Ed, I hear you. I cannot from here confirm any of that because we have to keep their privacy. I think they would appreciate that too. We have to give them.
The doctor.
We have to keep their privacy.
It is public.
Information.
I hear you. Guys, hold on a second. There's no reason to go back and forth and be in this aggressive way.
Miffed around here about how information's been shared with the press corps around here.
What are you missed about? What are you missed about?
Everything he just asked about.
And then every time I come back and I answer the question that you guys asked.
Correctly, you didn't have to come back and clean it up.
I never answered the question incorrectly. That is not true. I was asked about a medical exam. I was asked about a physical. That was in the line of question that I answered. And I said, no, he did not have a medical exam. And I still stand by that. Matter of fact, the president still stands by that. He had a verbal check-in. That is something that the president has a couple times a week.
Now in regards to Dr. Kevin Kennard.
And I am telling you right now that I am not confirming names from here. It is a security reasons. I am not going to do that, Ed. It doesn't matter how hard you push me. It doesn't matter how angry you get with me. I'm not going to confirm a name. It doesn't matter if it's even in the log. I am not going to do that from here.
So even though it's public record, the Dr. Kennard that was seeing President Biden, dozens of times at the White House, Karine Jean-Pierre doesn't want to release his name for security reasons. Makes me think that the security that she's talking about is probably the presidency, him losing his supporters. All right, his supporters. So they have been continuing to lie. They will continue to lie. They won't tell the truth ever. Okay, ever. So Karine Jean-Pierre, the press secretary, is not going to come out and tell you the truth about President Biden. So my question is this: if they have been lying about President Biden's having dementia or having Parkinson's or whatever he has, okay, we know that he has something is wrong. We know that he has something. If they've been lying about that, what else have they been lying to us about? All right. The mainstream media is pretending to be, on America's side right now, on the people's side, because they sound like a bunch of conservatives now when you listen to CNN and MSNBC, ABC, all of them almost at the same time are saying, yeah, there's something wrong here. I think there's something wrong with that. Okay. If all of you are all of a sudden are saying what we've been saying for many years, and you're just starting to all say it at the same time just because of the debates, the debate was just a scapegoat for them to worm their way out of it because it's almost too late. All right. And in a desperate attempt to hold on to power, they want to quickly shift somebody else in to the president's seat. But it's not going to work. Why? Because they've been lying so much that we don't know when to trust them. We just have no idea when they're telling the truth. We don't. We know that they're lying about everything, basically. All right. There's nothing you can say to the American people to change our minds about how we feel about CNN, and their ratings are plummeting, by the way. So President Biden, has been trying to get out here and tell everybody everything's okay. He's refusing to, give up. When we think he should have gave up a long time before he ran, but apparently he doesn't think so. And so President Biden's been doing some interviews lately. Okay. I don't know if you guys heard about this, but he went to a radio show called Word in Philadelphia. And some interesting developments with this interview. Apparently he's a black lady. He's the first black lady. I mean, I think we knew what he was trying to say, but, apparently he said that, he's the first black woman.
By the way, I'm proud to be, as I said, the first vice president, first black woman, served with a black president. I'm proud to the first black woman in the Supreme Court. There's just so much that we can do because together there's nothing. Look, this is the United States.
We're just getting tired of Biden. Okay, but maybe that's why they've been running cover for him, because he identifies as a black woman. But the radio host said something pretty interesting. She said that the questions were given to her by the White House, and then she had to approve them. Does that sound like a fair interview? I don't think so. If someone comes to interview me about me, they should ask any question that they want, especially if you're the president. So the woman was fired after that because apparently that goes against the standard of the radio station. They don't do any of that, which is fair. And they're a Democratic stronghold, apparently. But I want you to take a look at this clip here from CNN because this is the radio host that got fired for taking an interview with Biden and accepting the questions that the White House gave her. So weird.
Andrea, let me ask you here about your interviews and something. I listened to both of them, and there's something that's similar here. You each you asked 4 questions, and maybe that's what you were allowed to ask by the campaign or the White House. But they were essentially the same questions, both interviews, about accomplishments, progress in your respective state, what's at stake in the election, what he has to say about his debate performance, and what he would say to voters who think their vote doesn't matter or might sit this election out. Were those questions given to you by the White House or the campaign, or did you have to submit questions ahead of this interview?
The questions were sent to me for approval. I approved of them.
Okay, so the White House sent the questions to you ahead of the interview?
Yes.
Okay.
I got several questions, 8 of them, and the 4 that were chosen were the ones that I approved.
Okay. And the reason I ask is not a criticism of either view. It's just that if the White House is trying now to prove the vim, vigor, acuity of the president, I don't know how they do that by sending questions first before the interview so that the president knows what's coming.
Yeah, the CNN reporter is absolutely right. Bingo. Okay, where have these people been? Where have they been all these years? Where have they been? Okay. No transparency, zero transparency, sneakiness. Let's stage this entire interview so that way we can protect Joe Biden. That way, nobody will find out about his dementia or his Parkinson's. All right. That's what's been running your country for the last 3.5 years. A person with dementia who can't make sound decisions, who barely knows where he is. We've been saying this for a long time, talking to dead people, having it's so many gaffes on YouTube right now. Joe Biden, like, it's absolutely crazy. They say, oh, Donald Trump does the same thing. That's a damn lie. Donald Trump talks for hours. So does Warren Buffett, by the way. Warren Buffett's like 91 years old. All right, he can talk for 6 hours straight. All right, talk to that guy. Tell me if he's unfit to be an investor. Let him show you his bank account. All right, the proof is in the pudding here. But Joe Biden is sadly very gone. All right, he can't make it through another 4 months. It's absolutely impossible. Who do they have next? Kamala Harris. She's a DEI hire. There's no way in the world that the people are going to resonate with her. Her message is absolutely stupid. Okay, I don't know where we're going with this, but it's very clear that they are running out of options. They're desperate. As a matter of fact, they're so desperate and they have nowhere to turn, and they're in a absolute box right now. They're stuck. All right, they're stuck in a metal box, sealed shut. That many of the left-wing people, that many of these lunatics are actually calling for the assassination of Donald Trump right online, and we haven't heard anybody prosecute anybody yet.
Speaking of fever pitch, Donald Trump's great week has resulted in some serious Trump derangement syndrome. We're talking about on steroids. This has now reached such a hysterical level. People are taking to social media to call for Trump's assassination. Most recently, it was a BBC reporter who took to Twitter to write, "If I was Biden, I'd hurry up and have Trump murdered on the basis that he is a threat to America's security." That's David Aronovich. I mean, this is someone that people, obviously mostly in the UK, watch on the BBC and know him to be a household name. And here he is calling for the murder of Donald Trump, but he is just one of many. Check out this actress. She's from a show which you may or may not have heard from called Orange is the New Black. It was a pretty big mega series. Millions of people have watched it. And she decided to post this video on her social media calling on Biden to be that assassin.
Joe, you're a reasonable man. You don't want to do this, but here's the reality. This is a war. This is a war now, and we are fighting for our country. And these are going to take it away. They're going to take it away. Joe, you now have the right to take that Trump out. Take him out, Joe. If he was Hitler and this was 1940, you'd take him out. Well, he is Hitler and this is 1940. Take him the out.
Like we needed any further proof that these guys are literally deranged, that they think that it's perfectly acceptable at this point to take themselves on social media, people with millions of viewers, and say, yeah, let's just murder this guy. Then there's the average Joe. I don't even know this fellow's name, but he thought he'd join in the sentiment.
Since they say that a president is immune from prosecution for anything he does officially while he's in office, I think that Joe Biden should officially have Donald Trump killed off, and that would solve this problem of him being too stupid to run our country for 4 more years because he's brain dead.
Whew, man. Don't you see where our country is headed? We're in trouble, bro. We let a bunch of maniacs from the alphabet soup, the LGBTQ, all these deranged lunatics. We let them steal our country. We let them take everything over. We can't let this happen again. All right, these people are not sensible. They're calling for the assassination of an American president. All right, because they're mad they can't have their way. As much as we don't like Joe Biden, I wouldn't even say that I hate him. I hate what he's doing, but I wouldn't call for his assassination. That's just psychotic. That's crazy. All right, that's absolutely sick. And those are the people that we're dealing with. Okay, men who think they're women, women who think they're men. And this is why we just can't tolerate it, period. Other countries, Muslim countries, they fear the conservative because we actually have values. We have values. We believe in moral standard. We don't allow certain things. We don't, conservatives just don't put up with it. We won't tolerate it. But the lefties, they'll always do all that stuff. They'll always be okay with it. They'll always let it go. But you can't give the devil a foothold. I want you to start doing one weird thing. It just leads to more weird things. Okay? And it leads to crime, and it leads to a lot of other things. You need to have law and order. We need to have justice. And we just can't tolerate certain things, period. All right. If you're a man who wants to be a woman, and a woman who wants to be a man, look, that's your business. Yeah. But we don't do that in normal society. It's just not something we're a part of, and we don't want to be around it, quite frankly, but that's where we are, guys. So Trump is very protected. I have every confidence that he'll be okay. And we've seen lunatics come at him before, and they get shut down right away. All right. So, let me know what you think in the comments, guys. Trump is smoking Biden like a salmon, and that's the way it's going to continue to be. If the election was held today, Trump will win in an absolute landslide. All right. Like, share, and subscribe. Until next time, guys, this has been Yup, I Said It.